Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday. Start of another week. Clearly, we're talking about money today. Hang on one second. Let me see when you all are here. So, as you are joining, um, go ahead and let me know that you're here. Hang on a quick second. I think this is going to work today. Woohoo! We've got both places working this morning. Instagram and Facebook. All right. So those of you that are here, hey, Mika on Instagram. All right. Good morning. Morning, everyone. Kiki, Beth, happy Monday. All the people are here. Let's get this conversation started. We're talking about 4 wealth questions for 2024. And as you all are coming in, I just want to ask, do you ever ask yourself wealthy questions? Think about that for a second and let me know in the comments. Do you ever ask yourself wealthy questions? I know one of the things that I realize in serving women from all over is that we don't question ourselves. We don't question, we don't ask transformational questions, right? My husband would say, can I have a clarifying question? We don't usually ask deep questions of ourselves, which is why we have conversations like this here on our Monday morning time together. So if you all are here, I see a ton of you on Instagram as well. Mika, could you put in the comments, just let me know, or Melissa, if you can hear me. So I just know if I need to, what's going on? Because for me, it shows muted on Instagram and I want to make sure there's no echo. All right. So I have a story to tell you about how this conversation came about. One of the things that can't hear me. Okay. Hold on. I got technical things going on. I'm hoping that you guys got it worked out. Okay, great. All right. So here we go. So I was in the UK for an event. As you know, we are, traveling across the world to do this. We have a ton of expenses incurred. I've been invited to speak at an event in front of a room filled with my ideal clients, right? So I've done all the things to get there. I land, and the instructions from the hotel was you take this kind of like I can't think of the word, but you take a bus, right? Basically, a shuttle. That's the word. Take a shuttle from the airport to the hotel, and they tell you when you get out, just stand at this particular spot and get the bus that comes to this spot, and it will take you to the hotel. So I do that, and I notice that as I'm on the bus, it's making stops at all of these different hotels. And in fact, it makes a stop at the hotel where I'm having to speak at this event. I'm not staying at that hotel, I'm staying at another hotel, but I notice the bus makes a stop there. So I go, okay, great. I get it. I get this now. When it's time for me to go to the event the next morning, I just need to get on one of these buses going to the airport. So here's what I do. I wake up, I get dressed, I go downstairs. I'm speaking, so I've got lots of props and books and all kinds of things I'm carrying. I'm like pretty loaded, decked out, and I get there and I say to the lady at the front desk, "Hey, so which shuttle do I need to get on to go to the airport?" That's the question I ask. Which shuttle do I need to get on? Because there are shuttles arriving at this hotel going in different places, right? Different airports, different locations. And so I said, I want to get which of the shuttles do I need to take to get on this to get to the airport? This, I think it was Gatwick at the time. So she tells me, I get on the shuttle. When it comes, it's pouring rain, it's cold. Those of my UK friends, this is probably all the time. But I get on the shuttle and I make it on. I'm dry, I'm good, I'm seated. It's going to all the hotels. And finally, it gets to the airport and it has not stopped at the hotel that I am intending to speak at. And so I'm like, I say to the guy, what happened? You didn't stop at that hotel. What happened? He said, oh, you're on the wrong shuttle. There's a different shuttle that will stop at that hotel, and you took the wrong shuttle. And I in that moment stood there in the rain, unprotected. I am not prepared. I don't have a raincoat, an umbrella. I got velvet suede boots on. Like I am just a disaster in this weather because I asked the wrong question. I asked the wrong question. And it's one of those moments. I finally showed up. I'm late. I'm late for the event. I walk in looking like a wreck, not a good, not on brand at all. But it taught me a powerful lesson. And it's the quality of the questions that you ask. And this is a Tony Robbins quote. I know you're all sick of hearing it, but I love it. And this was one of the moments where I proved it. The quality of the questions you ask determine the quality of your life. I asked the wrong question. And so I ended up in a situation where I was not where I needed to be. I was late. I was wet. I was frustrated. I was in a country I didn't know how to get around. Didn't even occur to me to think, go find a way to take a cab. It's a huge airport. Like all the things, flustered and everything, because I didn't ask the right question. And I wanted to use that as a framework for this conversation this morning, because when it comes to your wealth, what I see happening is, first of all, are you asking yourself wealthy questions? Second, are you asking the right question? I have 4 and a bonus one that I want to share with you this morning, because what I see happening is we're asking questions. Even when we do ask questions about wealth and financial freedom and abundance, we tend to ask it from limitation. So I'm going to share with you 4, and I'm going to give you the limiting question version, right? The like, how do I get to the airport? Which shuttle do I take to get to the airport version of the question? And then I'm going to give you the wealthy question, the question that will get you where you desire to be. So get pen and paper ready, because we're about to do this. Get pen and paper. You want to write these questions down. Usually, question number 1, biggest question, very, 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 very limiting. Like, I have a strong position on this, and it's this question: how can I pay off my debt? I want to pay off my debt. I want to go into every debt repayment program on the planet, and I just want to focus on paying off my debt. My sisters, my friends, women and men, wherever you are hearing my voice, if you want to be wealthy, that is a limiting wealth question. Here's what wealthy people ask: how can I make more money? How can I make more money? I don't love these outstanding balances that I have. I don't love the way that it feels, but I'm not going to focus on how can I pay off my debt, because I promise you, 9 out of 10 people who focus on that question stay in debt, right? So number 1 version of that question is, how can I make more money? That's a wealthy, expansive question. Number 2, how can I create passive income? Like, I just want to make more money so I can reduce these outstanding balances. I don't want to work any harder. Let me ask myself a wealthy question: how can I make passive income? How can I be open to multiple streams of income, right? Instead of how can I pay off my debt, how can I be open? How can I open myself up? How can I put myself in a position to be open to multiple streams of income? But here's what wealthy people really ask: how can I use my debt to make more money? How can I use what you call your debt? I call outstanding balances, but how can I use debt to make more money? And I promise you, study them. They are not trying to pay off their debt. They're trying to get as much of it as they possibly can, and they're leveraging it to make more money. And so, as long as the debt you have incurred is generating income, there is a period where if you choose, you can pay off the debt, but you would have made money in the meantime, right? So that's a wealthy version of that question. How can I get access to more money to grow my business? Different question than how can I pay off my debt, right? How can I get more money so I can grow my business? Different question. So I'm going to leave that out there for you. That's question number 1, and the wealthy version of that question. And I encourage you, If you ask God, universe, source a question, if you plant the seed of possibility in your consciousness, you must receive the answer. So if you're asking, how can I pay off my debt? You're asking a question about debt, you're focused on debt, you're going to be overwhelmed. It's going to more than likely cause you to stay in debt and incur more debt. And so I would rather you focus on how can you make more money, right? So that's wealth question number one. Wealth question number two, the limiting version that I hear is, what should I invest in to grow my business? What should I invest in to grow my business? Should I invest in funnels? Should I invest in how to build a course? Should I invest in ads? What should I invest in first to grow my business? The short answer, period, always, forever, is you. Number one thing you should invest in is you. And we're going to have a whole other live about that. I want so badly to go there, but I'm just going to tell you that is the short answer. But it is a limiting question. The answer to the question though is you. So stop asking that question. Number one, how do you grow your business? Invest in you to the point where you are so great at what you do. You are so confident, you are so certain, you are so self-assured, you are oozing your product and your belief in yourself and in it, that now you can go invest in systems and things outside of yourself. But that is that. Here is the expansive way to ask that question. How can I buy knowledge so I save myself time and effort? How can I buy knowledge so I save myself time and effort? I have a strong belief that the focus should not be a return on your investment. It should be a return on your time. If I can make an investment to grow my business that will save me time and effort, like I'm going to get knowledge, I'm going to invest in myself to get knowledge that saves me time and effort, that's the investment I want to be making. How can I make that investment? And so one of the things that I said this week, I just joined a mastermind program. I was 14 minutes into the program when I messaged one of my goddesses and said, you need to be here. You need to be in this program. And I told her, I said, as I showed the class, one of the things that the person that was leading the class said, oh, this is, the first time we've ever had so many women. Right. And I was like, you know what? I'm sick and tired of being in these rooms where I'm not represented. There's not a lot of me's. And it's like, wait a second. I want to say to my sisters, buy a seat at the table. Get yourself in the room. Get the knowledge, the connections, the opportunities that will save you time and save you effort. That is the way to ask that question. All right. So that's question number two. How can I buy knowledge to save myself time and effort? Let me look over here. That's right. Shanika, if you want to go faster, go with a master. Okay. So the other question I hear people asking is, how can I get the money so I can live the life of my dreams? How can I get more money, or how can I get the money so I can live the life of my dreams? And I want to reframe that. In my email that went out and in the post, I said, I heard someone share this at an event recently where they said, for most of us, we confuse our dreams with what we deserve. And if you're asking a question from your dreams, I know most people, their dream includes, purses, shoes, clothes, cars, designer this, designer that, maybe even trips. And there's nothing wrong with those things, ladies. I'm a fan, but I don't confuse my dreams with what I deserve. And what makes up what you deserve? That is the wealthy question. What do I deserve from life? And what I know I deserve, and I know every woman associated with me deserves, is financial peace, financial freedom, which means the freedom to not worry about money. That is what you deserve. What you deserve is to create generational wealth. What you deserve is to have assets that produce enough money so that when it comes time, you're like, I just choose not to work anymore. That's not a thing you have to worry. You don't have to do effort to make money. That is what you deserve, right? So that's a wealthy question. What makes up what I deserve? And once you're clear on what you deserve, you believe you deserve it, you must have what you believe you deserve. You must have what you believe you deserve. That is a fact. So that's a wealthy question. That's the version of the question that I would ask, right? Not how can I get more money to live the life of my dreams, but what makes up what I deserve from life, in life. I'm going to leave you all there with that one. Okay. Here is the last one, and I told you that I have a bonus. How will I get wealthy? How many of you have ever asked yourself that question? How is it going to happen for me? How will I get wealthy? Let me know in the chat. Tell me in the comments, how will I get wealthy? Anybody ever asked that question? And you're sitting there thinking about the how. That question is very how centered. How will I get wealthy? Yeah, the how. That's right. Shanika says the how. Anybody else besides Shamika? I'm looking at the chat. Let me know in the comments whether you're on Instagram or you're on Facebook or YouTube. Let me know in the comments. Anybody ask the how question? Yes, I asked the how question. You can go ahead and just call yourself out this morning. The more real we are, the more we can have transformation. How many of you find that you have asked the how question? There you are. Some of you are saying the how is none of my business just because you've been here for a while, but you still ask the how question. Even if you know it's not your business, you still do. I know a lot. I know I sometimes do. I sometimes go, what are you doing? You're asking the how question. And just be real, right? Guilty. Somebody said guilty. I know I do it. We do it sometimes. And so that's not a wealthy question though, right? How will I get wealthy is not one of the 4 wealthy questions we want to be asking. I want you to think about this question instead. Who do I need to serve? Who do I need to serve? And if you're going to ask a how question, let it be, once you've identified who you need to serve, how can I serve many of these people? How can I serve many? Not hundreds, not thousands, millions. How can I serve millions of people? Because I promise you, in the process of serving hundreds, thousands, millions, you must be rewarded with wealth. If you are not, then you're not doing something right. Right? So if you hear me speaking, one of my things is I have switched from, Tasha, I'm just focused on how much money I want to make. My whole thing is to create 100 millionaires. In the creation of 100 millionaires and multimillionaire women, I know that I will be blessed financially. God's going to take care of me. Universe is going to take care of me because my service was so abundant, and the reward is going to be abundant, whether it's a direct correlation or not, right? Whether it comes from these women paying me or something I invest in, or money just falls out of the sky, or I win the lottery. It doesn't matter where it comes from. As long as my heart is to serve many, I will be financially rewarded for sure. So I know everyone's like, where'd you get the money shirt? I'll tell you about the money shirt in a minute. So that is a wealthy question for you to ask. Really sit and ask yourself, who do I need to serve, and how can I serve lots and lots and lots of those people? That is a wealthy question. That guarantees your wealth for sure. Zig Ziglar says, you can get anything you want, including your wealth, if you are willing to help enough people get what they want. So my wealthy question for myself, and I'm inspiring you, is how can I help a ton of women become wealthy, become deserving of wealth? How can I do that? That is my question, because I understand the formula, right? Here's my bonus question that I'm going to give to you is, and I would have started with this one, except I really wanted you to hear those 4. A lot of people, follow me, listen, do all the things because they want wealth. But you know what I realize? we don't even know why we want to be wealthy. A lot of women, when I go, okay, so why do you want this? It's very superficial. I want to get out of debt. I want to buy a nice house. I want to go on vacation. I want to pay off my credit cards. That is not a strong enough why. Like, if your soul does not shake when you say it, like if your spirit does not turn into like a gospel choir when you acknowledge why you want to be wealthy, then it's not strong enough, right? So that's my last question, is really, really, really think for a moment. Why do you want to be wealthy? Is your why strong enough? And I'm going to leave you to think about that. Like I said, this morning is a thinker. I just wanted to come in here and tell you there's so many women that are, like on the right track, really, really doing the best that they can. But sometimes if you're asking, like I started the video this morning by saying I was at the hotel and I said, how can I get to the airport? I didn't want to go to the airport. I wanted to get from the hotel I was at to the hotel the event was at. But because I asked the wrong question, I did not end up where I needed to be. And if you're not asking the right question, if you're asking the wrong wealth question, if you're asking from a place of limitation or fear or lack of clarity or lack of deservingness, then you're not going to end up where you want to be in wealth. And that's why I wanted to share these questions with you this morning. All right. So big things, a couple of big things are coming along that I want to just share quickly, announcement wise, because I know this every Monday morning when we do this, and if this is your first time, I'm on here every Monday morning at 8 a.m. with these types of conversations. I'm all about creating 100 millionaire and multimillionaire women by 2025, just by sharing all of this wisdom that I have used, I have shared with other women who themselves have become millionaires and multimillionaires. And so now it's like, okay, now I have a number, 100 women. So if it's your first time, I'm here every Monday morning, 8 a.m. Eastern. Come start the week with me in these wealthy conversations, as well as I know that usually in my community, this is where we gather, right? We know we're always here Monday morning. So I just want to take this opportunity to make some quick announcements. I'm going to ask you to type the word connect. Hang on, type the word connect in the comments, just because. So type, if you're on Facebook, type the word comment and then check Facebook Messenger. You'll get a prompt to sign up for reminders. And you want to do that because we have a couple of things coming up in the next few weeks. We're going to have Wealth Embodiment Week. Oh my gosh, we're going to have so much fun. We're going to have Wealth Embodiment Week coming up. We're going to have Affirmations Week coming up. We're going to have our 5-day wealth activation experience and class again coming up. So type the word connect, check Facebook Messenger, make sure that you are on our list to get reminded of all the things. A lot of amazing things are coming up in the next couple of weeks. And if you're a wealthy, shout out to the Wealth Sisterhood. If you are a part of the Wealth Sisterhood, first of all, go ahead and claim it. I am a wealthy. Blow up the chat, the comments. Let the world know you're a wealthy. And I just want to remind all of you, we have our first masterclass coming up, and it's going to be on mastery of thoughts. How to master your thoughts and how to master your thinking. We're going to spend an entire month having fun doing that. And your first class is February 6th. Tuesday, February 6th at 12 p.m. Make sure you have that in your calendar. February 6th, Wealthies, that's our first class, first master class on thoughts. And then on February 14th, in the Wealth Sisterhood, we're going to have a love and marriage conversation with 3 relationship coaches who have all personally impacted my relationship. And they're going to talk about how to do the healing work to attract love, as well as share their inspirational love story. So that's going to be Valentine's Day. So Wealth Sisters, we got a month coming up. It's going to be so exciting. Make sure that you have those 2 dates marked off. And if you would like more information, you're like, Tasha, a Wealth Sisterhood, a bunch of women who are having fun, creating wealth. What are you talking about? You can go to tashachen.com/sisterhood. Everything you need to know about it is there. tashachen.com/sisterhood. sisterhood. All right. Well, I love you all. Go have an amazing Monday. Sit with these questions. You will experience transformation if you think and you contemplate on deep questions like these, right? So let me repeat the 4 questions again. How can I make more money? 4 wealth questions. How can I make more money? How can I buy knowledge to save time and effort? What do I deserve from life and the wealth that is required to give that to me? What makes up the life that I deserve, right? What are the assets? What is the generational wealth? What is included in passive income sources? Like, that's a wealthy question that you want to ask yourself. And how can I serve many people? Those are the 4 questions that you should be asking. And then the last bonus one is, why do I want wealth? Why do I even want it? And make sure that you connect to a really deep why. Okay. See you all next Monday morning. Bye, everyone.